Methods 1, grammar video number 7. And the fifth commandment that we're going to see today is honor your father and your mother. This is number 5. Honor your father and your mother. We have 4 grammar topics to cover: adjective clauses, gerunds and infinitives part 1, gerunds and infinitives part 2, and coordinating conjunctions. We are going to start with adjective clauses. First, let's understand what an adjective clause is. An adjective clause is a dependent clause that modifies the noun. It describes, identifies, or gives further information about a noun. An adjective clause is also called a relative clause. And the reason is because generally you're going to use a relative pronoun in order to connect both clauses. So remember, the relative pronouns are the connectors, and they will be used as a subject or an object. Let's see. First, let's see adjective clause pronouns used as the subject. I saw the man, clause number 1. He closed the door, clause number 2. I can connect these two sentences forming just one clause, okay? An adjective clause using a relative pronoun. I saw the man who or that closed the door. I am using a sentence. It contains an adjective clause. Sentence number 1, sentence number 2. I am using a sentence that or which contains an adjective clause. So if you notice these two relative pronouns, they are being used as subject, okay? Now remember, who is used for people, which is used for things, and that can be used for people or things. Let's see examples of adjective clause pronouns used as the object of a verb. Well, to connect this type of clause, the relative pronoun must be moved to the front of the clause, in front of the subject. The movie wasn't very good, clause number 1. I saw it last night. The movie that or which I saw last night wasn't very good. So you move this, okay, in front of the subject here, and it becomes the object, okay? The people were very nice. We visited them yesterday. The people who or whom we visited yesterday were very nice. Again, we move it before the subject, in this case is we, and who or whom becomes the object, okay? The object of the verb. Adjective clause pronouns can also be used as the object of a preposition. If the preposition comes at the beginning of the adjective clause, only whom or which may be used. She's the woman, clause number 1. I told you about her, clause number 2. Let's combine this. She's the woman about whom I told you. In this case, I cannot say who because that would not sound grammatically correct. I have to use whom because I have a preposition right in front of it. But I could say, she's the woman who I told you about. Then I have to move my preposition to the end of my sentence. The music was good, clause number 1. We listened to it last night, clause number 2. Well, let's put them together. The music to which we listened last night was good. So again, here I can only use which. I cannot use that because I have the preposition to right in front of it. In both situations, here, the adjective clause pronouns are being used as the object of a preposition. Using whose. Whose is used to show possession. It carries the same meaning as other possessive pronouns used as adjectives. For instance, his, her, its, and their. I know the man, clause number 1. His bicycle was stolen, clause number 2. Let's combine them. I know the man whose bicycle was stolen. The student writes well. Clause number 1. I read her composition. Clause number 2. The student whose composition I read writes well. Using where and when in adjective clauses. Where is used in an adjective clause to modify a place, such as a city, country, room, etc. The town is small. I grew up there. Where in that town? Let's combine that. The town where I grew up is small. When is used in an adjective clause to modify a noun of time, like year, day, time, century, etc. I will never forget the day. Sentence number 1, I met you then, on that day. Sentence number 2, let's combine them. I will never forget the day when I met you. Punctuation. Do not use commas if the adjective clause is necessary to identify the noun it modifies. Use commas if the adjective clause simply gives additional information and is not necessary to identify the noun it modifies. In which sentence is it clear that I have more than one sister? Let's see. Sentence A. My sister, who lives in Bel Air, has 3 children. Sentence B. My sister who lives in Bel Air has 3 children. Well, it's obvious that letter B is clear that I have more than one sister. Why? Because I had to use who lives in Bel Air to identify which sister I'm talking about. While in this sentence here, I could eliminate this piece of information. This is just extra information. I could just say, my sister has 3 children. Would the listener be able to identify the noun without the adjective clause? Let's see. He is the man who works at the grocery store. This is essential identifying information. Let's break this adjective clause into 2 clauses. He is the man, okay? He works at the grocery store. Now, only with this sentence here, I could not identify the man, okay? I could not identify him. But if I combine these 2, I can say he is the man who, using a relative pronoun, works at the grocery store. As you can see, no punctuation either. Maria, who works as a physician's assistant, enjoys her job. Well, this is extra information. Okay, it's non-identifying information. I can cross this out and just say Maria enjoys her job. Just by saying Maria, I am identifying the person. Well, that was the end of Unit 13. Make sure you review this video if necessary. And watch video Unit 14. Thank you.